Heyo friendos, it is I, DrBossKey, and today I thought I would run you through a sneak peek and also to give a little bit of feedback regarding our title screen for Interstellar Sentinel. So why don't we hop over and I'll show that to you. Okay, first off, here we go. So the idea is these are just our very first sort of mock-ups. Thank you, Dimitri, as always. It's very cool to see kind of the remix and thinking and what's kind of gone into it so far. So I've already left feedback on the Trello card. I'll go over that for you in a minute, but this is also kind of just a quick show and tell for the people out there. Yeah, so ideally what's going to happen is this is going to replace the front main menu title screen that appears right after the logo sequence. We won't have any more motion because it's not really a scrolling graphic anymore, but here's the versions we have. So this one here is kind of riffing on the interstellar aspect, right? You got a version of the cosmos. Dimitri, I really like, I think the UI elements here that we have here. So yeah, I asked you to go ahead and deliver just the UI framing to me so that I can collage that into the final image there. I kind of liked what you were thinking with the yellow for the I and the S, you know, and that, and then of course this is just mock-up for the start settings and exit here. So what I'll do is I'll take and remix that. I think I showed you a version. If I come over here and take a look at this, ooh, that's gonna be fun too. But we're gonna not talk about that quite yet. We're on the wrong one. We're still on the wrong one. Here we go. Yeah, so I've been riffing on a version of our box art. This is like the traditional box art. Yes, I know this is the old Gondis. I know, you know, but it's decent. So here I was kind of really wanted to get the Interstellar Sentinel. So what I've done is I think I'm pretty happy with this. So what I did is I have a version of lettering here that I've done just in Canva. And essentially what I did is I increased the space between the letters for Interstellar, make it a little bit wider. And then I brought in the kerning or the space in between the letters for Sentinel to align the E's. So I kind of really like the way it kind of frames in. And so this is pretty much what our newest box art is for the game. It's digital, but box art on Twitch. So slowly but surely I've been making the rounds. So I did attach this, so and I can give you the link to the Canva. I'm sure you'll probably want to maybe play with this a little bit as well. But look, this is about primarily this is little bitty DrBossKey and his ship, of course, and against the basically the kaiju form of Gondis and Data. So having some fun with that, and it's been really fun to do. Anyways, I digress. Let's see here. So coming back to this, so I think that was the strongest there. I also just honorable mention. I really liked that you have a little bit of the abstract shading in the shapes here. Good stuff there. I really liked how moody this was. This is very moody. Lots of tone with the background lighting and the foreground shadowing, even with like the reactor core with the super I like this. This is good. And then we have kind of this. I guess this is kind of actually like this is the ship sitting inside of basically a landing bay on a bigger ship. So that was cool too. I think it's a little bit too moody, from where I was at, but I don't know. Like this was close. But I think this is the winner in terms of the layout. In terms of like the full screen. Whatever. I don't think we have to be completely full screen. Sorry, I mess around with my scrolling. But anyways, also this is a little bit heavier on the UI elements. I didn't put this in the notes, but you should if you can give me these UI framing elements as well, that'd be interesting for me to play with. I wasn't a huge fan of the kind of embossing. This is like the chromatic aberration kind of effect here. It's all right. I like that you did that. Yeah, but I think the main thing here is let's take this as the main image. I really like that we've got this kind of cockpit view. I'm a sucker for ships, right? Like it's a bit rounded because our cockpit view is bulbous. One small thing as I'm thinking about it as well, you could potentially, and we don't. I want to have a version for the weekend, but coming back. So. If we're riffing on this this cockpit idea, right? We're also, by the way, to the people out there watching, we're doing a version where we're changing the accents for some of the gold into this kind of like metallic blue. So Dimitri already gave some feedback on a couple places to clean up here. But the thinking here was that the gold yellow catches the eye, and I'm all over the place, apologies, but the gold catches the eye. And so, you know, it's trying to just reinforce for people that don't really play games, that don't play shoot 'em ups or shmups that have just a very small hitbox. And here the ship is big, so the tail is in the center of mass is kind of where people are looking. So it's a little bit harder to adjust to thinking about where the vulnerability spot is. So one of the things we're trying to do is to reduce some of the other eye-catching pieces that bring your perspective to these elements. May not work, but I thought I would try it out. It doesn't cost a ton for us to do some of the painted highlights, but that was the thinking there. But anyways, sorry about that. So riffing on this, right? If we're in the ship and this is the deck, maybe Dimitri, and you could do some just very, very light, like don't be heavy on these, but make it look like we're looking through, you know, like a view screen, but very, very light paneling, right? Because we actually kind of have this paneling. Maybe not work. Give it to me in layers so I can choose. But if you want to riff on that, that would be pretty sweet. So that you can see here, we have the you know, the main deck here. This is kind of where you're sitting here, right? And you're looking out from that perspective. So that might be a cool way when I'm looking at what we've got. Oh my goodness, what we got rolling. In this perspective. It also might just be way too heavy-handed because this is also a logo. So, but yeah, so then, yeah, let's do a cleanup there, remove this, give this as a separate element. I'll do the final arrangement of the UI framing from the top. And also with this one, I'll try it out and we'll go from there. So I think that is pretty much it. I appreciate you. So for the folks out there following along, cheering us on, we have people buying the game on Steam. We have people that have told me this is their new favorite game. We've had people tell me that some of my great friends are Twitch streaming friends, and one of the things that they like to do because they do their shows is they like to get a little, like, you know, they only have about a half hour, an hour. And so this has kind of become their new daily game rotation. So, and there's enough challenge in the game, and the game has enough dynamic, is that even a word? And the game has enough dynamic difficulty. So when you are playing, the better you get at slaying monsters and screen clearing all of the enemies, the more there is to see, until eventually it's like, you know, like the onion layer, until you get to the middle where you find a juicy, like, mini boss that's going to make you cry. So, and while we're still balancing and tuning and I'm watching the feedback, it has been just a pleasure and an honor to see this. There's nothing quite like this, you know, I mean, and it's in no short part because of you, the folks that have developed that have dedicated their time to the project. So thank you very much. To everyone else, we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.